Hello, hi everyone, Simeon Gabriel. Today I'll be taking you through the route of web development. We'll be touching on the basics of HTML, and as time goes on, we'll look at CSS. So, if you're looking for where to start, here's the right place. You got the right channel to start. So, I've taken us through the basic structure of every HTML page, the browser reads everything inside the body tag and displays it. So first of all, we'll start with this Visual Studio Code. So it's a code editor. We have Sublime, we have a lot of them. We have Jupyter Notebook for Python. We have, but I think we'll stick with Visual Studio Code for today. So what you do is, once you download your Visual Studio Code, you just check the description below. You see the link on how to download and install Visual Studio Code. And from here, once you get your Visual Studio Code, you open it, you install it, you find this first page. We have the new file, open folder, and the rest. So first thing first, you have to create a folder. And from here, I've created a folder. So I call it YouTube HTML. You see it here. So you can create a folder. The way you just create a folder, just right click on your PC, you see new, you come here, you see, you create a folder. So we'll return back here. What we have here is I've created a folder, so I have to open the folder. So what I will do is I go to YouTube HTML, I select it. So it's here already. You can see mine is here. So I want to create a file inside the folder. So the file is going to be, okay, let's say text file or whatever. So you can create the file, but now this is another way of creating the file. You can create it since you're on this folder. You just click this place. Then let me just call it index.html. HTML. So the extension HTML will has is just for web structure, for web development. As time goes on, I will show you and you will see the difference between the different extensions we have. So once you are creating a page to write your HTML code, you make sure you include the .html extension regardless of what the name is. Once you give it a name, the dot, what follows is an extension. So HTML is the right extension for creating a web structure. So since we have this here, we'll press enter. You see it's open here for us. So the first thing we have to do is we have to write the doc type. So once you put the exclamation mark, you see this IntelliSense that has shown here. This is the structure. So once you get this, you see this has been highlighted where you do it. What this is showing you is where if you click enter, this is what the preview will look like. So you see all of this. So this is the structure. This is what the code will show you. So I will start by explaining what the head, all of these you see are called tags. All of these you see. Now this exclamation doc type HTML, you know HTML has different versions. So this is HTML5. So this is called a tag. Now a tag in HTML or in web is carrying a greater than sign and less than sign with a text inside. So this is a tag. This is also a tag. This is also a tag. This is the head tag as well. See, this is the body tag. Now, when we come to tag, we have the opening and closing tag. The opening and closing tag for some tags. Now you see these body. Look at the closing tag here. You see? So now it is based on hierarchy. It is based on hierarchy. There's a structure to this. Now, first thing first, you see we have the doc type, which the closing tag here, which tells us that Okay, it does not have a closing tag. It's just showing us that this is HTML5. So this HTML you see here is the opening tag of this HTML. This is the closing tag, and closing tag comes with the slash with the text of the tag in between the greater than and the less than sign, which is this. So the language here, don't mind what is here, it just tells us that, oh, the language you're using is English, so you can code on different languages. So all of these meta or whatever, just um you don't need to really know what this means. So here in the hierarchy, we have the HTML tag. The next thing that follows suit is the head tag, and inside the head tag we have different tags. One of it that we need to know here is the title tag. You can see the title tag. Now this title tag shows us what will be on the title of our web browser. So whatever we're going to do here, this is a code editor. So whatever we're going to do here, it will reflect on our browser. So this works well with browser. So let's get it straight. So if I say instead of writing document here, let me edit this to my first my first page. So I will be as slow as possible so that you can understand what we're trying to do here. So my first page, so you can write whatever you want. So this is what I want for my title, since I'm just getting started with web development. So let's head over and see. So now this sign here shows me that there's an unsaved file here. I did changes, I made changes to this file, so I have to save it. Control S. So when I did that, so I go, yeah. So the easiest way of doing this to run it, I'll just double click on my folder where it's saved in my PC. Just go find, so whatever um file you create on the VS Code, it automatically reflects in the folder. So let's double click it. So you can see my first web page here showing at the top of this place. So whatever we do on the code editor, the VS Code, it will reflect on the browser. So the hierarchy where you can find the title tag is in the head tag. So after the head tag, the next thing that follows suit is the body tag. So in between the opening and the closing tag of the body tag, so what I'll do is I can just write something. Let me say hello world. I think that was fine. So hello world. So you see this showing us that it's unsaved. So I have to press Ctrl S. So we'll go back to our browser, we'll refresh. You see hello world is showing here. You can see hello world. Or maybe probably I have to zoom it up. So you see hello world, right? That's fine. So this is how to start up with HTML. So congratulations, we've written our first line of code, and it reflects on our browser. So I will move on to the next, which is headings. So how do we capture headings? Now, if you look at most web pages, you see there are some bold text like a title, like a heading. So in the heading, now for we to proceed, whatever you do in the body tag reflects on the canvas of your browser, right? So we will get this straight. So let's come here, hello world, whatever. So we can come here and say okay, let's take hello world off. So in the body tag, there are tags that whatever you do in the body tag reflects, like I said earlier. So we can have tags inside the body tags, multiple tags. Like the title tags work only on the head tag, right? So let's have, now we're talking about headings. So let's say headings, we have H1, H2, H3, H4, H5 down to H6. That's how um, we have our headings. Now, the headings is based on hierarchy as well. The H1 is greater than the H2. The H2 is more bold than the H3. Same thing. That's how H6. H6 is the least when it comes to how big the text is. So let's say for H1, we say this is let's say this is heading, right? Oh, I misspelled it. So this is heading, right? So let's go and say H2. So once you just you know the name of the tag, just type it. It will highlight, the IntelliSense will show. So just press enter. So you don't need to write, but it's a good practice that you learn how to write the full code instead of going to the short route. So I can say this is heading 2, heading 2, right? So this is heading 2. So let me specify this is heading 1. So let's get the other. So I said when it comes to creating headings, we have the H tag, H1, H2, H3 down to H6. So as we move down to H6, that is how it gets smaller. So we get this. So this is heading 3. So let's save. You can observe here that it's telling us that we have one or save file. So we can save here, and I will come again. Before we go to the browser to check, I repeat myself, H1 is the biggest. H down, as we go down to H6, the text becomes smaller. All right, so I've saved it. So let's go and take a preview. We'll refresh. Here you see this is this is heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. So you can see the difference. All right, so the other thing we can also identify, now these are like the building blocks of creating a website. Now you need to know the basics. It's like a child. You cannot be an adult overnight. You have to start growing. First of all, you're giving birth to you're giving birth to, in this scenario, let's say you're onboarding yourself, you installed the code editor you want to use, and you made up your mind to go into web. So it's like you have been given birth to. Then the next step is the building blocks. You start crawling. It's just like when you started school, um, you started with learning alphabets. Learning alphabets, you use those alphabets to form words. From words, you use it to form sentences, right? So this is how it's been done. So we cannot start creating a full-blown site at the moment. So we need to know the basics. So from here, we've done the few things: creating title, creating headings inside the body tag. So one more other thing we can do before we go is to identify another tag that can be attached to the body tag. We have what we call the P tag, right? So let me say, let's give this heading. Let's just have one of these headings. Let's say the H1. Let's say um, web web development course. Okay, so let's say we can make this capital D, capitalize each words. So then coming down here, we can use the p tag. There's what we call the p tag. It's called paragraph. So p tag is called a paragraph. So we can indent it. So when we talk about indentation, indentation means arrange your code in the right format. So we'll talk about that as we go. So the p tag is where you can write your paragraph, your text as well. You can just write a long whatever you want. So like taking a note. So let's say welcome to HTML. Or let me write that in capital letter. So HTML. Oh, sorry, HTML. So this is okay. This is okay. So I can say uh uh I I love coding. Coding. I love coding. Blah, 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 blah. So I have to save it. So we go there, we look for this, we refresh, and wow, we have it here. Web development course, welcome to HTML. I love coding. So gradually, this begin to make sense to us. So see you. I believe you've been able to. I believe you've been able to grab the few things we've said here. So creating the title, we first of all started by creating the structure, knowing what comes before what. Then we created the title, modified it because it came with the structure already. So we went on to create headings, and we saw that there are six um, tags for headings, and it is as we go down below to 6 it gets smaller. Then we also know that we can use the p tag to just write simple text. So that's all.